Oh, billet.
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Usually I'm doing it, and I couldn't find my list, so
That's okay.
bailed out again.
Well, that's what we're here for, buddy. So we've talked about, pretty much every event, over the course of this week, Bill, and, you said yourself you were a distance swimmer. What was your race strategy while you swam, and then also what do you try and teach your kids as they're doing the mile?
Well, for me, it's about consistency. I like to break this.
Okay, now I can.
Okay, so we want to go. I think of this race as 3 500s. First 500, you're setting a tempo for yourself. The second 500, I like the swimmers to at least be, within a few seconds of their first 500. First 500, you got the dive in the first couple, 2 or 3 50s that you're going to be a little bit faster in pace. You want consistency. You want, and then that third 500, we want to just keep putting more energy into it. And then you've got 150 left, and that's basically that's where you're going to get after it to come home. You might even start that kick, if you will, a little bit earlier.
Yep.
It's not a traditional kick like dropping the hammer and with the legs, but it's building up your speed.
Yep.
So where you're going to find that last gear and just empty the tank.
Yep.
The challenge for these kids this race is a huge challenge. But the next challenge is going to be some of these girls are going to be swimming in other events tonight. And so there's most of this event were swum this morning or early this afternoon. Those swimmers will actually have a little advantage over these kids tonight in the final. And so you're going to take this one race at a time. So you're not going to conserve energy now. Now you want to make sure that you want to take care of the business in this race first. And so right now we have 2 young ladies taking care of business, and that's
Siegel and Karafin.
Yeah, Sasha Karafin is our leader in lane number 5, and then Alexandra Siegel is in lane number 4, right with her. They're pretty consistent. The last, really low 30s, high 29s is where they're at right now. And so if these two start to pull away from the field, look to them to use each other as kind of a measure of how fast they're going. So while they're swimming, we'll keep an eye on them, but also want to take care of a little bit of business here. Team scores. This has been a very competitive team meet, and I want to go through the team scores with you now. We scored 3 different team races. We scored the women's race, the men's race, and then the combined race. And in order to score points combined, you must score points in the men's and the women's events. So in 6th place, we have Ole with 245 points. They're out of Michigan.
Is this women's?
This is the women.
Okay.
In 5th place, Verona area swim team out of Wisconsin with 298. In 4th place, Nova of Virginia with 511 points. Nation's Capital out of D.C. is in 3rd place with 611.5 points. You get a half a point if you have a tie. They split the points, and if it's an odd number, then you each get a half. Rockville Montgomery is in 2nd place. They are in Montgomery County, Maryland. They are at 621, just 10 points ahead of Nation's Capital. Those two teams, they have multiple sites amongst each other, so a big rivalry there. Long Island Aquatic Club is just dominating the women's with 1,034, and they have their 2 girls are right now swimming eyeball to eyeball.
Right.
That's Sasha Karafin and Alexandra Siegel, still holding 30-point lows.
Yeah.
So they'll feed off each other because they probably are very, very knowledgeable of each other's racing strategies. I'm 100% sure this is not the first time they've raced together.
And I doubt it'll be the last.
And it's interesting, they both are breathing to the left. We'll see if either one of them takes a breath to the other side. So that's going to be an advantage for Alexandra Siegel. She's I'm going to take you down 7 places deep because that's about, or maybe even 8. St. Charles swim team out of Chicago there. Rockville Nation's Capital rivalry, 435. 2 points ahead is Long Island Aquatic Club, 437. And 34 points. And as we get to the 500-yard mark, this is the first 500 we talked about. 459.3, 459.2. They are neck and neck, and their splits. They're just trading off who has the faster split, and that's what's keeping them so close to each other.
I got to tell you, Bill, you've taken out a mile and a 4:59 is pretty solid.
Oh, absolutely.
Man, two of them. I assume they're probably real good training partners.
I would think so too. I used to take mine out in 4:59, but again, that was just the first 400. So, on the combined side, we're going to start with sixth place. That's Rochester Swim Club, 465. Now, they were not, I didn't mention that team, either the men or the women, so they're probably 7th, 8th, 9th in both, but they're consistently scoring on both sides. Good balance. Yep. Machine Aquatics, 532.5 in 5th. Nation's Capital, now the scores are going to jump a little bit here. Nation's Capital is in 4th with 1,105.5. Nova of Virginia, 4 points ahead at 1,105, and actually 3.5 points ahead.
Yeah.
Rockville Montgomery is 1355, and Long Island Aquatic Club is 1471.
So
Long Island's
going to a little bit.
Yeah, and Long Island's going to pick up about 37 points just with. Give them a boost right off the bat. So some great team scores. We'll try to revisit these. We got a lot of swimming tonight. Want to stay focused on the athletes. So we'll see what we can do and see if we can keep you guys abreast of the team scores.
Well, you also got to put in there, so, like you said, some of these girls are going to be doing the relays as well.
Exactly.
So I always suggest a really good warm down. Make sure that you get some fluids in you to help refuel you. Get something to eat. Make sure that you get that fuel going, and so it all depends on how well they handle.
And what's really important to not only the warming down now, but for these kids and Alexandra, Sasha, Kirley Workman in lane 6. We've seen them swimming quite a bit. A lot of Reese Richardson too. All these girls have had many second swims. We'll see the same thing with the guys, and we see Sasha Karafin a little bit faster there, about 3 tenths faster. She's got nearly a second lead, but now come right back, and you see Alexander Siegel. Keeping an eye on her. Alexandra's starting to breathe both ways a little bit to kind of keep an eye on what's going on. So I think that's a good habit for distance swimmers.
Every third, every other. Every third, every other.
Yep.
Good breathing race strategy. Yeah,
Sasha,
they're trading
8005, 8011. So they're
trading who has the fastest split almost every 50.
Exactly. How they swim tonight is going to be impacted by how well they warm down on Tuesday night, on Wednesday night, and Thursday and Friday. Or not Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the swimmers that have been warming down and taking care of themselves throughout the whole week are the ones that are going to be, I think, in the best shape.
And it looks like, Siegel's, they're, like I said, trading off. One's faster than the other the first 50. The other one's faster than the other the second. Shaping up to be a great race with these two. Still holding 30 lows.
Yeah, it seems like every time Sasha tries to get a little bit ahead, that we see Alexander Siegel come right alongside of her.
29.8.
We are at the 900 mark. They were 459 at the 500, and so
going to be 10:01, maybe 10:02.
Yeah, and so for them to go 459 and then come back on a 501, 502.
Meet record 16:36. It's they've got a shot. Both of them got a shot to take it down.
They actually do 16:36. They are under the record pace right now. 30.2. And then now here, Alexandra was out split. Now she comes back.
Right.
She's 1,600s faster. So, and now you can see, we're seeing right now Alexandra Siegel watching her as she's coming up and picking up some speed. But a great turn by Sasha on that last turn, and she opens up the lead again. And it's interesting, if they're coming towards us, we see Sasha open up the lead. Sasha's a little bit snappy around the turns, if you will. I tell my swimmers, you got to chase your knees. The whole point of a turn is to get your. And Alexandra's got nice turns, but Sasha's just a little bit quicker, and it's a couple hundreds here. It's a couple. Both of them were 10:01.2 and 10:02.2. So for Sasha, one, and then she was 4:59. So she went 4:59, 5:02. That's a heck of a swim. And
Sasha with another 29. Beautiful swim.
You're going to get to a point on this third 500 where a swimmer might just decide to throw in. These girls are holding 100, 100.3 or 4.
Yeah.
But now, so watch here. Here's Sasha. She just threw out a 29.8. Let's see if she comes back with another 29 to try to break contact. 30.1, and Alexandra's 30.4.
So Sasha,
if Sasha's able to break, if Sasha's able to break contact here and get away from her, that's going to make it a lot tougher. It's psychologically, you can wear down your opponent that way, and then all of a sudden your opponent many times will fall off. Unless you're Brian Goodell and you're like, I didn't picture this. I'm going to take off.
Or Bobby Fink. But yeah, 30.09 for Sasha, 30.4 for Siegel.
In just the last 150 yards, Sasha's taken a 1 second lead and opened it up to a 2 second lead.
Right.
So picked up about 9/10. That is pretty significant considering these two girls have been racing each other toe to toe. And Sasha's time is a 16:53. And as we mentioned, she is all over this record. Love to see her teammates. We got a lot of swimmers on the side of the pool.
Well, we got a 400 left.
She's at 12:31, so, and I would imagine we're going to see some fast swimming in the last 100 from her. So, I would be surprised if she wasn't under a minute. So,
yeah, you were talking about the turns, Bill. I'm looking at Sasha's turns. She's got a nice tight, tuck.
Yes.
And Alex seems to stretch her legs out a little bit longer. So still tucked, but not quite as tight a tuck as Sasha has.
And again, Sasha continues to open up her lead.
Still staying in those low 30s.
And, sometimes you get in a groove like that, and Alexandra, even though she's got a faster seed time, and Alexandra's going to go well under her best time, too. These are both some really big swims for these two girls.
30.2, 30.6. So Sasha's got to stay in those low 30s in order to keep under that record pace.
Why would you say even if she's a 15:37 low and with 100 to go, I think she's going to – I really see her going under a minute on the last 100. She looks great.
Yeah, she does. And they all look great.
And what's interesting, too, is Alexandra is just good tempo, good rhythm. And now we're starting to see them get into traffic as they start to lap their competitors. Not uncommon in a race like this. So
I was lapped many times when I swam.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
Remember the days of Greg Maurer just...
Oh, man. Mine was Robert Ramaska.
Oh, yeah.
Went on to swim for Alabama.
Had a nice career there.
They did.
Greg Maurer swam at Stanford, and his nephews are actually currently swimming at Stanford this week. Or they're at Indy, but swimming for Stanford, I should say. And Sasha, yeah, just,
30.05.
She's starting to get that, half second.
She's got 200 yards to go. I see this record. I see her being a 16:31, 16:32.
Yep.
30.1. Yeah. Could be a 16:30 if she gets after.
I was going to say, yeah. But how do you really get after it when you're going at it?
Yeah, exactly.
And getting after it for an entire.
And Alexander Siegel,
yards.
she's 15:06 right now. Just fell off the record pace. She's going to be, she'll be under 16:40, I would think.
Yeah, and her seat
time
is 16:45, so that's
a nice swim for her.
Yeah. So 100 yards left. Sasha clearly in the lead, clearly under record pace.
We'll start hearing some bells, and like the old school bells.
One of my favorite sounds when I swam was hearing the whatever it was that.
That's a sign that you have one more 50 to go. It is not a shame bell.
Shame.
It's a shame we don't get to watch more of Sasha Karafin tear up, carve up this race.
Oh, man.
She is 16:02.9. She is going to break this record unless she gets out at the other end, which she does not do.
No. (16:32.22).
Great swim, and here.
Her teammate, 16:37.07.
Yeah, just off the old record, 4/10, but
still a best time by 7 seconds.
And that's a lot of points for Long Island.
Yep, extending their lead, their team score.
Lane 3 from is Claire Herfel, and she's in 3rd place.
Yep.
She's just.
I believe she's done here.
On her kick there. I think everybody's on the final lap now, I believe.
Claire Herfel, 17:10.05.
Great, a nice swim.
Carolee Workman, 17:17.04.
All these girls are well ahead of what the swimmers went this morning, but we've got a couple swimmers that still have a 50 to go.
Yeah, I imagine the 17:51 will get into this top. Hannah Wexler from this morning.
Yeah, Carolee Workman from Northwest Arkansas, 30.9. Lauren Canty, lane number 2, comes in 5th, 17:40. Everybody is now on the last lap. It's Sandra Epp and Jenna Bilot from Eagle and Academy. It's interesting, this race, if we put this race on the first day, then these kids are fried the rest of the week.
Oh, yeah.
So it always comes at the end when you're, had a long week of racing. So, and then here we have lane 1, and that's Reese Richardson comes in.